Donald Trump is fixated on the SAVE Act, but does he actually want it to pass? I'm Pete Seed, and this is Right on Cue. The SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship for voter registrations, passed the House of Representatives in April 2025 by a pretty comfortable margin by House standards, 220 to 208. And four of those yeses, if you can believe it, were actually Democrats. The Save America Act, which is an expanded version and includes a mandate for voter ID at polling locations nationwide, that passed in February of this year by a narrower margin. And all along the way, from the SAVE Act to the Save America Act, President Donald Trump has been cajoling the Senate to do the same, to pass one of these bills into law, saying that he wants to sign it. But does he? On the surface, I think the answer is yes. He's talking about the SAVE Act, then the Save America Act all the time. SAVE Act this, SAVE Act that. He told Congress that he wouldn't sign a reauthorization of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act until the SAVE Act was passed. It didn't work. Section 702 lapsed. Now he's currently refusing to sign a so-called bipartisan housing bill until the SAVE Act is on his desk. The Senate isn't budging. They're saying that they don't have the votes to surpass the filibuster, or Republicans are saying that they don't have the votes to nuke the filibuster, fearing the precedent that it would set. And look, I have no reason to doubt the president's desires here. He has a long rap sheet of attacking what he believes to be a lack of integrity in our voting systems. But I don't think that's his play. I think the SAVE Act is Trump's scapegoat. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this. The November elections are probably going to be bad for Republicans. History tells us that. Polling tells us that. Things are headed in the direction of bleak. That doesn't mean it's a foregone conclusion that Republicans will lose, but the smart money, the betting money, is on Republican losses. And who will be to blame? Trump. Now, how does he avoid that fate? By having something to point to as the real reason for losing. He has framed the SAVE Act, or the Save America Act, as the only thing that stands between this moment and a stolen and rigged election in November. With the Save America Act, it becomes all the more difficult for him to undermine the credibility of the election results. Without it, though, he can cry foul and redirect the blame to Congress, namely to the Senate. So rather than the cyclical nature of politics or suppressed turnout from the Republican base because Trump's name is not physically on the ballot, or the anti-incumbent mood that is sweeping across the country, he can just say, no, this wouldn't have happened had you passed the Save America Act. I'm Pete Seat, and that was Right on Cue.